Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who is actually running the show inside your head? It sounds like a strange question. After all, it's your brain, your inner monologue, and your life. But if you really look at the last 24 hours, how many of your thoughts were original? And how many were simply reactions to the stimuli around you? You wake up and immediately check your phone. Within seconds, your mood is being shaped by an algorithm you didn't design, headlines you didn't choose, and opinions from people you don't even know. By the time you've had your first cup of coffee, your mental landscape has already been colonized by outside forces. The uncomfortable truth is that we are living in the middle of a war for our attention, and most of us are losing. We like to believe we are independent, rational actors, but for the average professional or entrepreneur, the mind has become a sophisticated echoing chamber for social conditioning and digital manipulation. If you aren't actively and consciously reclaiming control of your thoughts, you are effectively living on autopilot. And in a world that is increasingly polarized and distracted, autopilot is a dangerous place to be. Welcome back to VF Growth Tutorials. Today, we are tackling the most urgent topic in our Independence of Thought series: how to reclaim your cognitive sovereignty. We're going to explore the architects of attention who are designing your distractions, why your brain is biologically wired to let others think for you, and the specific steps you can take today to build a fortress around your mind. This isn't just about productivity. This is about your freedom to choose who you are becoming. To understand the urgency, we have to look at how the modern mindset is constructed. We live in an era of unprecedented information abundance, but this has created a massive deficit in attention. Technology companies spend billions of dollars hiring neuroscientists and psychologists for one single purpose: to keep you scrolling. They aren't just selling you products, they are selling your mental real estate. Every notification, every suggested video, and every infinite scroll is designed to trigger a dopamine loop that bypasses your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for independent, logical thinking. When you spend hours a day in these loops, your brain begins to lose its capacity for deep, sustained focus. You become reactive rather than proactive. You stop asking, "What do I think about this?" and start asking, "What is everyone else saying about this?" This is how the mental prison we discussed in earlier videos is built, one unexamined thought at a time. The longer you wait to reclaim control, the deeper these neural pathways of distraction become. By the way, if you're finding this perspective on mental autonomy valuable, please leave a like. It really helps the channel reach more people who are trying to break free from the noise. Also, make sure to subscribe to VF Growth Tutorials and join our community if you haven't yet, because we bring you these deep dives into independence of thought every single week. And share this video with someone who feels overwhelmed by the constant digital pull. It might be the wake-up call they need. The second force we have to address is social conditioning. Beyond the digital world, we are constantly being nudged by the expectations of our professional and social circles. There is a silent pressure to hold certain opinions, to pursue specific types of success, and to fear the same things everyone else fears. Because humans are social animals, our brains interpret disagreement with the crowd as a physical threat. This is why it's so easy to outsource your thinking to the group. It's safer, it's easier, but it is also the death of your individuality. True independence of thought requires a cognitive audit. You have to become a scientist of your own mind. You need to start looking at your thoughts not as the truth, but as proposed data. When a thought arises, especially an emotional one like, "I'm not ready for this," or "This is a disaster," you need to stop and ask, Is this my thought? Or is this a programmed response based on my environment? Most of the time, you'll find it's the latter. In the next part, I'm going to share the mental firewall technique, a 3-step process to filter out external manipulation and reclaim your focus. We'll talk about the low information diet, the power of silence intervals, and how to rebuild your focus muscle so you can think clearly even in the middle of a storm. So, how do we actually build this mental firewall? If the world is designed to distract you, your only defense is to become intentionally difficult to distract. Reclaiming your thoughts isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice of digital and psychological hygiene. It starts with what I call the low information diet. We are currently living through an epidemic of infobesity. We consume massive amounts of low-quality data, headlines, memes, and short-form videos that provide a quick dopamine hit, but zero nutritional value for our long-term goals. To reclaim control, you must become an elitist about what you allow into your mind. Ask yourself, does this information help me solve a problem? Or does it just make me feel an emotion I didn't choose? If it's just noise, cut it out. You wouldn't eat junk food for every meal. Stop feeding your brain junk data. The second pillar of the firewall is the practice of silence intervals. Our modern world has a terrifying fear of silence. The moment there is a gap in our day, waiting for an elevator, sitting in traffic, or standing in line, we reach for our phones to fill it. But that gap is exactly where your original thoughts are born. Your brain has a default mode network that only activates when you aren't focused on an external task. This is the part of your brain responsible for self-reflection, creative problem-solving, and consolidating your identity. When you fill every second with external input, you are literally drowning out your own voice. Try to spend at least 10 minutes a day in total silence, with no devices and no distractions. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That's just your focus muscle being out of shape. Sit with the discomfort until your own thoughts finally have the space to surface. The third pillar is active focus training. Most people have become reactive thinkers. They only think in response to a notification or a crisis. To be an independent thinker, you must practice proactive thinking. This means setting aside time for what deep work expert Cal Newport calls deep work. Choose a complex problem in your business or life and give it your undivided attention for 60 minutes. No phone, no tabs, no interruptions. This isn't just about productivity. It's about proving to your brain that you are the one who decides what is important. You are reclaiming your cognitive endurance. The more you practice this, the more resilient your mental firewall becomes against the constant pull of the digital world. Reclaiming control also means auditing your social circles. We are neurobiologically wired to mirror the people around us. If you spend your time with people who are constantly complaining, reacting to every news cycle, and following the crowd, you will find it nearly impossible to think independently. You must curate your environment to include other sovereign thinkers, people who challenge your assumptions and encourage you to look at things from first principles. Remember, the herd doesn't like it when someone leaves the fence. They might call you stubborn or out of touch. Take it as a compliment. It's a sign that your mental firewall is working. As we wrap this up, remember that the goal isn't to become a hermit or to disconnect from the world entirely. The goal is to move from being consumed by the world to interacting with it on your own terms. You are the only person responsible for the quality of your thoughts. If you don't design your own mental landscape, someone else, an advertiser, a politician, or an algorithm, will design it for you. Reclaiming your thoughts is the ultimate act of rebellion in a world that wants you to be a predictable consumer. It is the only way to live with true clarity, confidence, and freedom. I really appreciate each and every one of you who stayed here and watched this video to the very end. It shows that you are ready to take back the keys to your own mind. If you found this strategy for reclaiming your thoughts valuable, a like helps tremendously with our visibility. It's a simple way to help this message reach others who are feeling overwhelmed. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider joining our community here at VF Growth Tutorials. I personally read every single comment, and I'm curious to know, what is the biggest mental distraction you're going to cut out this week? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And please, share this video with someone who needs to hear that it's not too late to take back control. And hey, the YouTube system is recommending another video on your screen right now from our Independence of Thought playlist. Go ahead and give it a look, because we have a lot more hidden sciences to uncover together. I'll see you in the next one.